We're here at London's 11, and I'm here with Chloe, who's going to be my model for today. I've been wanting to work with Chloe since I shot my peach party tutorial before Christmas. And it is allegedly midsummer here in London, although you wouldn't think so from the weather outside. So it seems like the perfect time to give her midsummer mermaid hair. So Chloe's been having a full head bleach for a few years. What I need to do first is to lift up her root area and then remove the yellow direct dye that she has on her mid-lengths and ends. Once I've done that and dried the hair off, I'm going to use Pravana direct dyes, a mixture of pastels, vivids and neons in different dilutions to create the midsummer mermaid effect. So I have Redken Flashlift here in my bowl that I've mixed with 20 volume. And I'm going to apply that to Chloe's root area, to her root zone. Fortunately for me, Chloe's hair is around base 7 and she's very, very flat naturally. She's a very cool base 7, so it's very easy to lift up. Apply that to her root zone and let that process for a little while, and then I'm going to put a new formula through the mid-lengths and ends to remove the yellow, and that will be 10 volume Flash Lift with some Olapex added. So when you're applying lightener to a regrowth on a full head bleach, it's worth remembering to apply product to both sides of the section. You want to saturate the sections and really just apply the product. You don't want to push the product on, you just really want to sit it on the surface of the hair. And as I said before, you want to do that to both sides of the section, so that when you take your next mesh of hair, it's already saturated. And of course, making sure that you don't overlap the colour onto the previously lightened hair. I use a really short, stubby nylon bristle brush for this, because I find that that just places the lightener down without room for it to move around too much. Chloe's roots have been on now for about 20 minutes. I'm going to apply fresh Redken Flashlift to her mid-lengths and ends. I've got 20 volume here in my formula, but I've added Olaplex, so that takes it down to 10 volume. It's worth remembering when you're doing a full head lightener how you apply the bleach to the root area. I started at the crown section and applied through the back, all through the roots, and then worked forwards to the front of the hairline. Hairline is generally a lot finer hair, so it lifts much quicker. The second important thing to remember when you're lifting up hair for full head bleach is that you want to keep the product moist. You want to apply enough product that it doesn't dry out, because lightener that dries out does not lift. The maximum processing time for Redken Flashlift is about 50 minutes. So I'm going to apply this through the mid-lengths and ends just to remove that direct dye and let that process for a little while. Process of Chloe's hair finished. I took the bleach through the mid-lengths and ends, we processed that for 20 minutes, and then we did a full Olapex treatment of the basins. I left Olapex number 2 on for about 20 minutes, which we then shampooed out. We've rough dried her hair, and at this point it's worth remembering that when you're using direct dyes, that it's important to lift the hair up as light as you can get it. You're always looking for a point of reference which is like the inside of a banana, so as pale yellow as you can go. As I mentioned before, I'm really lucky with Chloe because her hair's very light and it lifts very well. You get a very even result. What you don't want is too much underlying pigment because that will interfere with the direct dyes that you're going to use. So now it's time to get our mermaid on. So I've got 5 different Pravana colours here. Starting off with the pastel mint, which is one of my favourite colours. Then we move on to Blissful Blue, which is another one of the pastels, the Pravana pastels. Then we've got one from the Neon range, which is the Neon Blue, which is a fantastic, a really striking blue. And then we've got from the Vivids, we've got the Locked In colour, we've got Locked In Teal, and that's mixed 1-to-1 with clear. And then we've got, just for a bit of contrast and a bit of a pop of colour, we've got the Neon Green, and that's 1 part neon green to 2 parts clear, just to dilute it down. Now what I'm going to do, using the other shades that I've got and mixed up, I'm going to work in bands working down the hair. It's really a case now when you're doing this of eyeballing it and just being as creative as you want to be, which is fantastic for us as hairdressers. I'm going to melt the colours into each other, so that means just blending them in very slightly. It's worth remembering at this point as well to keep a couple of towels handy. You need to keep your work really clean. I don't want to transfer too many of the colours into each other. So in between actually melting the colours into themselves, I'll be wiping my hand on the towel. Chloe's Minty Midsummer Mermaid applied. As you can see, what I've done is I've used tissues just to separate where the bright neon green was. I haven't used that colour before, that shade before, and I found that it was transferring quite a lot throughout my melt, so I just decided just to simply use tissues. You could use cling film or foil, but tissues were to hand, so it's just easy to use those. We're going to let that process now for around 20 minutes. And then we'll see when I've rinsed that off and rough dried Chloe's hair for the reveal. So that's Chloe's Minty Midsummer Mermaid look all finished. I'm kind of lost for words right now because once again, the Pravana colours have given me fantastic results. I'm really loving this and I hope you guys out there are too. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did putting it together. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned because there's lots more coming on the World of Prey.